So I'm going to leave it over to Krista again.
Okay, once we have all this data, then we can use it to identify areas of high conservation value. And there are a number of different tools that are out there to help you prioritize areas for conservation, and each of them have their own inherent strengths and weaknesses. The one that we chose to use is called MarkSan. MarkSan was designed by researchers at the University of Queensland in Australia to deliver decision support for marine protected areas design. And it's been used in a number of prominent conservation planning projects around the world, including the rezoning of the Great Barrier Reef. The overall objective of MarkSan is to identify a group of areas which meet conservation and socioeconomic and cultural objectives as efficiently as possible. So what MarkSan does is it assesses various combinations of areas that could potentially contribute to the reserve. And it does this millions and millions and millions of times until it comes up with a near optimal solution that meets all of your planning objectives. It's critical to emphasize that MarkSan does not provide final answers, but it is a tool that is used instead to support decision making. And we've used it in Gwaii Haanas to highlight areas of high conservation value which act as a starting point for consultations. And we've also used it to better understand the marine ecosystem. So the map you're looking at right now shows the results of MarkSan, and it really shows the relative value of different areas in meeting Parks Canada's conservation mandate. So the yellow areas you're looking at are what we call areas of high conservation value, and these are areas that efficiently represent a wide range of habitats, species, special areas, and distinctive areas. The green areas are moderate importance in meeting Parks Canada's mandate, and the blue areas of are lesser importance, but they still contain important marine values. So together, when we analyzed the yellow areas, we saw that they efficiently represented a wide range of habitat, species, and distinctive areas in Gwaii Haanas. Once we had this information map, we chose to interpret the results to understand better what marine features were captured in each one of these yellow areas. And we discovered that MarkSan was doing a very good job of meeting our conservation mandate. It was highlighting areas of high biophysical diversity, special areas and sensitive ecosystem elements, distinctive areas, and areas of cultural value. And I'm going to walk you through a few examples now. So one of the types of areas that MarkSan highlights is areas of high biophysical diversity. And these are areas where a number of common and important ecosystem elements occur in the same area or in close proximity to each other. And these are sometimes called biophysical hotspots. One example of a biophysical hotspot is Burnaby Narrows, which is a 50-meter wide shallow inlet between Moresby and Burnaby Islands. And Burnaby Narrows is considered to be a particularly protective area. And every time the tide flows into the Narrows, it brings with it nutrient-rich water. Research has shown that Burnaby Narrows contains one of the largest levels of living matter, or what we call biomass, of any other intertidal zone in the world. And it has also shown that there are over 293 different species within the Narrows and numerous varieties within that. So obviously this is an area of very high conservation priority. MarkSan also did a good job pulling out special areas and sensitive ecosystem elements, such as the estuary at the head of Liscombe Inlet. And this estuaries are very important marine elements because they act as important energy and nutrient interfaces between the land and the sea. The estuary at Liscombe Inlet is characterized by extensive intertidal flats and also high and low marsh areas, and it contains very important habitat for Pacific salmon, waterfowl, and other seabirds. So again, this is an important area for protection. MarkSan also did a good job pulling out distinctive areas, such as the area to the south of Cape St. James. This area is known for very strong tidal mixing and exerts a huge impact on primary and secondary productivity in the surrounding area. It also contains one of the largest breeding colonies of stellar sea lions on the west coast. Finally, we also discovered that some of the areas of high conservation value also overlapped with areas of cultural importance. And this seems quite logical, really, when you think of course, a settlement is going to tend to to develop in an area that does have a lot of biological resources. And this is certainly the case with Gwaii, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which celebrates the living culture of the Haida and the relationship between the land and the sea. So I've walked you through some of the areas of high biophysical diversity, and I'm going to quickly highlight some of the work we did to identify areas of importance to resource use and visitor experience. Most of the work we've completed to date has focused on identifying areas of importance to commercial fisheries. And this information is particularly important because we are trying to identify options for the placement of fully protected zones that minimizes displacement to commercial fisheries. And we're not able to show this information tonight out of respect for the confidentiality of this data and the people who provided it. We wanted to finish by giving you a little bit of a glimpse of the road ahead. So next steps, well, currently we are meeting the requirements of the establishment process, which includes identifying some fully protected areas, which is part of our deliverables for the interim management plan. Following establishment, the Government of Canada will work together with the Council of the Haida Nation to further enhance protection measures. And we will do this based on new and improved data, peer review, and based on the results of further consultations. And ultimately, we're going to develop a comprehensive zoning and management concept that reflects the shared vision, goals, and objectives of the National Marine Conservation Area Reserve and Haida Heritage Site. Thank you.